Hello there, everyone. Once again, another home haunt hop here in the Halloween season. Santa Clarita, big night last night. Tonight, Burbank. Probably going to see even more things tonight. We'll see. We are out with our Parks and Cons crew, some of the people we appreciate so much that support us on Patreon, hanging out so we can do this kind of little bit of a tour of the Burbank area. So really excited a few of them can come and hang out tonight. So the night is as much social as it is seeing stuff. That said, we're going to see some really cool stuff. Of course, Rotten Apple, if we're in this area this close to Halloween. We're really excited to be out here for their opening night, but also a lot more. So let's start out though here with the Barbie house, as we have for many years now. I feel like maybe 2020 is when it began. I don't know, but let's go check it out.
Little vignettes. There's a really good one. Dropped off on the traveling by. Well, sounds like, oh, another this is going to be all you should go to another studio. We're going to go check it out. Can you see those? Thank you. Those ones, she's got a lot of help, but that's probably just looking at her. I know this one, I wrote this over. Sorry. That's okay. Thank you. She's also like I work solid on it.
Always fun and unique, the Burbank Barbie house. You can just count on it every season. Not sure what they're going to do, but always know it's going to be fun and unique. All right, and next up, the one and only Rotten Apple. I believe this is year 34 for this icon of the home haunt world. Theme, Nightmares in Secret. Every year, Rotten Apple, brand new theme, building a whole new universe. We are going to enter the Draconic Archive, see what mysteries we find.
Wonderful. Please come in. Come in. I see we have some knowledge seekers. Please come in. Come in. Oh, so many. How wonderful. Come in, please. And are you the okay? Come on in. Well, wonderful. Welcome all to the Draconic Archives. It was once established, of course, in 1848 by an anonymous, we shall say, entrepreneur. And out of the ashes of the Civil War came this archive where we celebrate everything that is scaly. Now I see that you are eager seekers of knowledge, and you, sir, are in front of the door. May I open it for you? If you dare, please come in and enjoy the knowledge that you seek. Welcome, welcome. Enjoy your journey.
Help me! Help! Help me! Help! Help me!
Welcome to the archive. I have spent years cultivating this magnificent research on these elusive creatures, yes. And tonight, my esteemed guests, you're going to have the chance to to greet one yourself, yes. Right this way. Hurry along. He's very voracious. Yes.
You dare enter the dragon's lair. Beware, there's magic in the air. Behold. You wish to see the dragon? Maybe not. It's the dragon, my friend. Yes? No?
Yes.
Yes. Run before you shoot.
There's no other way than through the dragon!
Run. Cole is after you.
There's only one way out of a dragon. Enjoy the exit. Bottoms up.
Always a blast. Love, obviously there's, I mean, love just the fact that they do a walkthrough. That's such a gift to the community that they've been doing this for well over 30 years. That it's always an original theme. There's always fun, you know, scare elements in it, but also there's always a sense of humor to it too. So that's always very much welcomed. A great cast, great show, and so thankful for what Rotten Apple has done for so long for the SoCal haunt community and the wider haunt community beyond that. So with that said, now we're going to continue our way down California and see some of the other haunts. Some of them we know, like the Burbank Clown House we see every year, the One Piece house, there's a number of them, but also every year in Burbank there are surprises, Halloween treats, and so let's see what we can find. All right, so we have the big Rotten Apple line there, and across the street a few houses down we've got the Bone Lord coming together, this massive spot with the chair at the top. It feels very much like something out of the Bone Temple from 28 Days. But obviously you can check them out on Instagram. They're the Burbank Bone Throne coming together here in California. All right, next up we have one we call the Halloween Christmas House, for obvious reasons here. Not sure if they keep this up for Christmas, if they leave the skeleton vibes, but this is a fun look. I don't think we've ever seen quite this mashup in this way for Halloween. Of course, we've seen plenty do takes on Christmas, but not with this kind of, you know, the irreverent party vibes of this skeleton crew here. Fun stuff and exactly the types of things you find walking the Burbank streets. In this video here, so we ended up having to actually cut our time in Burbank short due to some health issues. So the night ended early, so we're actually picking back up a couple days later. As it is now, we're Tuesday night out here, and so the streets will be a little less crowded. That's why we're a little bit closer to Halloween, and as you can see, it's only a little after 6, and the Burbank Clown House is already packed with a big layer of humanity there. So let's start taking a look at the Burbank Clown House, and then we'll make our way around some more of the Burbank and continue this video. And then if you've not been out here, this is the like alleyway next to the house. So we'll continue. Even across the way here. You can see why it attracts so many people. I mean, look at this. This is, yeah, a little after 6 on a Tuesday here, and it is packed. I mean, it is a few days before Halloween, but still it brings all sorts of people out because it is a full-on attraction here. I mean, here we are at the Hall of Mirrors. How fun is that?
Come here. Oh my god. Look at the next one.
The refreshment stand. And then they continue their war with the Burbank skeleton house. As you can see, the skeletons have claimed some prisoners there. They're making a message known. They don't want the clowns on their property. And we'll hook around the corner to see the front of the Burbank skeleton house now, which is a fun little tie-in here that they have going on. All right, and so now we are at the Burbank skeleton house, of course. It's grown each year. This year, they're getting a little R&R as they head to the Skeleton House Medical Center. You gotta keep those clowns out so they can perform their surgeries and do what they need to do over here to get everybody healthy.
Okay, we're gonna keep walking, guys, okay? Come on, Aiden.
All right, next up, just across the street, we have the Burbank Blood Red Carpet, which we've got a couple members of the press and a photo op here with the red carpet out. The Hollywood sign bloodied up. And we've seen a number of people waiting to get their photos on the red carpet, which is really a fun little offering that they have here. This is another one. All three of these so far, I believe, are on the SoCal Haunt list. Always a plug for the SoCal Haunt list. Find lots of haunts, although there are many we cover that are fantastic that either choose to not be on the SoCal Haunt list or don't know about the SoCal Haunt list. But if you are planning Halloween trips, obviously we'd like to help with that with these videos, but also SoCal Haunt list is a great spot to go to find what the areas have to offer. So I guess this is the extent of their Hollywood theming over there. it's a fun little photo op set up there. I don't know. I know they've done a little bit of decor, but I don't think they've quite had a theme like the red carpet thing in the past. So fun stuff here in Burbank. All right, next now. This one I don't think is on the SoCal haunt list, but it is Psychopath. And we've got all sorts of things that bring that. Obviously, you've got Dodger fans here. Watch out for the car right outside, parked in front. Looks like we got another Psychopath there. So we got the cemetery, of course. Then we've got Beware of, well, just beware. Love that guy dangling up there from the tree. More Psychopath behavior here. No trespassing. We're tired of hiding the bodies. And then we end with the Psychopath signage there. Fun display. It's interesting. This one's all on the sides of the front. Facing there on Clark is just standard business, but here on California, which if you make your way back up, that is where Rotten Apple is, and that line from Rotten Apple will stretch all the way down here for people to hang out with these Psychopaths. All right, now we check in on our annual stop at the Straw Hat Pirates house, where they do a one-piece display. This year looks like Scooby and Shaggy are stopping by and visiting as well. So as One Piece has come to Netflix, I feel like it's become even more of a draw over the last 2 years. It's nice we're here early enough. As we're recording right now, it's just 7 o'clock, so we're early enough that not too massively crowded yet in the Burbank area, as long as you're not at the Clown House, that is. Buggy head. And then here is the main dish at this display. What a great tribute to the gang there. Fun stuff. Always, it feels like every year they take it a little bit bigger here at the One Piece house. So fun stuff. All right, so continuing down Clark, if you're familiar with the area, there were 2 homes right nestled next to each other that just went all out with these animatronic displays over the last few years, and they have disappeared. I don't even remember a time in Parks and Cons history that they weren't there. So it's weird. They're just don't know if people moved, just not doing it this year. But this is new, conversely. So we do have the musical house just up the way, but we stopped here at this one. I think we're going to call this the Clark Cemetery. They've got some fun lighting here. It's quite creepy here how they've got the skeletons kind of intertwined with the overgrowth, the dried out vegetation there. It's pretty fun. Nice touches here. It's a simple red lighting, but it really works, and especially with the contrast of the green on the back and obviously the skulls as kind of a backdrop there. I like how this all comes together. And then it continues here on the other side of the path, as you can see. Of course, bonus points with the moon shining high above the display. It's always nice when it works out that way. All right, so back to our musical house here. I believe we call it the Burbank Music House. This is one of the rare ones in this area that coordinates their show to music. So it's something we see a little bit more out in like the Inland Empire area in the years past and things like that. But it is fun. I feel like they really upped the black light touches this year. It made it a little scarier, maybe. A little less Disney. I mean, Zero's still hanging out back there, and you can see the hitchhiking ghost and the old hag character from Snow White hanging out in the windows. lot of fun touches in here. Really works well with the lighting. All right, so now we're making our way up Lima, where we saw this great cemetery scene here with all sorts of foreboding characters mixed in here. They even got the Haunted Mansion caretaker hanging out in the back there. Got a Dodger fan in here as well. I really like these ghouls. There's a couple of these in there with these sweatshirts. It's really a nice... Yeah, that's a good one. This is 8178 Lima. There's another one of them back there. Good stuff. Continuing up Lima, we found this one, the Zombie Diner, which is a lot of fun. So they are playing iZombie, the CW version. Not necessarily the comic, but that is fun. And then obviously the DJ spot here. Super fun. It's something, I mean, obviously that's a big piece right there on the right, and that's really the attention grabber, but it's these smaller pieces on the left that just add so much personality and really make it pop for me. And if you watch the show iZombie, or you read the comic iZombie for that matter, it's just like, okay, that's really fun. It just adds that much to it. Good stuff here. And right next door to our iZombie homage, we have all sorts of witches. This is one big witch display. Everywhere you look, there's one hiding around a corner over there. Coven in the back. This is fun. We've got these changing photo ops here. I'm sorry, changing photos. Got witches on the roof as well. Looks like we have a sign here. Let's take a look at the witches first and come back to that. Wicked Witch. 6 to 9:30 nightly. Witch's Brew, Poison Apple, all sorts of fun stuff here. Very, very nice little piece here. These work well, and then we'll continue one more over here. We've got a Haunted Mansion take. So you've got iZombie, witches, and then our Disney vibes here. We just heard the Grim Grinning Ghost song going off over here. Obviously a nod here. You've got the bride in the back, but also a few other familiar faces you'll catch in the midst here, whether it's Beetlejuice and Orline and fun stuff. Love that shadow back there, the Grim Reaper. It's a great piece right there. Fun stuff. What a great trio of houses here just next door to each other. And there's some fun stuff across the way too. There's a little alien display over there. A fun little ship. You've got a bunch of inflatables over there. So not the activity on the street that you have on like California or Clark, but definitely worth taking a detour if you're walking these streets to check these out. All right, and continuing down Lima, another reason, actually I'm gonna show you, I think 3 reasons here to continue that walk down Lima if you're in the area. What a fun spider house we have here. I mean, the signage really pops. I love this set. Makes for a nice photo op, actually, on its own, really well lit. And then up in the trees, the spiders continue up above. Full on arachnophobia vibes there. Really fun look there. I love the red backing. I'm sorry, the red lighting on the backdrop there, and then just spiders everywhere. And then over here, a quiet display, but I am a real sucker for divers. This reminds me a little bit of Ghost Ship Grotto with the diver guy down there. He was one of my favorite Fisher Price figures back in the day, if you're familiar with the adventure people. But they're rising from the water. Got the Kraken. Fun. Again, kind of a quiet piece, but fun. And then let's take a look at this across the street. It was, saw some like birthday hats or something. It's like Happy Death Day. So let's check this one out together. So they are having a party. They are celebrating, of course, Happy Death Day there. Gifts being given from hands outstretched underground. Party hats, cake. Ghostface has some presents there. Fun. Just a creative, unique take. It's something it's like you love seeing, like, some of these houses with tons of animatronics that you've seen from Spirit or Home Depot or whatever. And then it's fun to see, though, then like something like this where it's just so creative. It doesn't have the volume, it doesn't have all the movement, but it's really unique. It's something seen more than 100 stops a year. I've never seen anything tying into Happy Death Day or the gifts or any of that stuff, and so I love it.
Just right for my midnight meal. Come a little closer. Let me introduce you to my long fingernails and sharp teeth.
So here we are on Fairview at, I feel like we've covered this one before, but it definitely a different look to it, much more foreboding. Love all the chained up kind of sacrifice vibes. This altar scene here. Pretty creepy. Continue on Fairview. Looks like we've got the Spooky Dookie as the sign we've got here. A fun tribute to man's best friend. All sorts of dogs and dogs with some questionable behavior.
Spooky Dookie. Oh, here, I need a picture of you there. Give me your phone. Yeah. Spooky Dookie. You too.
What a fun, irreverent display. All right, so now we jumped in the car. We want to make our way over to the Toluca Lake area there. That said, though, we have another Burbank stop. This is on the other side. It's over on Cordova. So it's actually at 1030 Cordova. It's called Cowboys of Cordova Haunted Show, and it's said to be a Western ghost town show, like a 3-minute show with characters, fog music. Very curious to see it. We just pulled up and it looks super cute from the street. Interesting, there's not a ton of Halloween in the area. There's some inflatables across the street, but as Burbank goes, it's actually pretty dry on Halloween, but then you've got this awesome looking ghost town. So let's check it out. Oh yeah.
Howdy, partners. It's Bones McGrave, your favorite bony balladeer, sitting fireside with a tale so wild it'll rattle your spurs. You ever wonder how I ended up here, singing to the stars and you fine folks? Well, saddle up. This story's got more twists than a haunted lasso. Last Halloween, I sauntered into the town saloon. The music was swinging, the spirits were high, both kinds, and the only thing colder than the drinks was the glare from old Cactus Jack, the meanest outlaw west of the Mississippi, and 6 feet under. We locked eye sockets from across the bar. No one blinks in a ghost town. Most of us ain't even got eyelids. Suddenly, the piano screeched to a halt, and you could hear a cowboy drop.
You dusty old bag of bones, you never paid your poker dues.
You know what they say. Never bet your bones against a skeleton.
Yada yada.
I drew faster than a vampire at sunrise. The Jack's draw was deadlier than a cursed cactus. Bullet zipped right through us, of course. Just left a breeze and a good story. But then, Sheriff Rattlebones stomped in. That's enough, you two boneheads. You're coming with me. So it was off to the Cordova County Jail for me and Cactus Jack. Now, this ain't your average lockup. It's where the town's rowdiest spirits spend their afterlife. Sometimes the walls whisper to you, make you wish for earplugs. If only I had ears. After a night full of rattling chains, ghostly pranks, and banshee ballads, the sheriff finally let us go. Said we made the place too lively for him. Hey, who pulled the plug?
Yeah, what happened?
Get out of here, you two boneheads. So here I am, back at the fire, guitar in hand, lucky to be in one piece. Well, more or less. And that, folks, is how a simple card game turned into the wildest story this side of Burbank's ever seen. Thanks for listening, friends. And remember, when the moon's high and the saloon's swinging, steer clear of Cactus Jack, or you just might find yourself in a showdown you can't forget.
All right, so now we have made our way over to Toluca, and we're going to head over to Lilley Hall. It is quite the sight if you've never seen it before. It is a massive, massive house filled with blow mold. So we're going to walk over. We parked on Clybourne. We're going to make our way down. There are several, or a few, I should say, in the area that are on the SoCal haunt list, but several that aren't, that have become kind of classics for us that we're going to check out. So we are going to see what we can find, but I can see all that glowing orange at Lilley Hall, so we'll head there next up. Lilley Hall is so large, can never do it justice, so I always try to start out here just to give a little bit of perspective of how massive it is. You can see the orange glowing there, but we'll get much closer and see all those jack-o'-lanterns and blow molds as we cross the street. This goes all the way down the side of the house, and then we make our way up onto the main sidewalk here. Closer look at these blow molds and all these lights. No surprise, they also do an incredible display for Christmas. All right, and we made our way down from Lilley Hall to one of our traditions here, Ghost Crossing. And as you can see, all sorts of skeletons at play here, be it tug of war, dogs, hanging with their horses, dancing about, just one after another. Really densely packed, and I always love the kind of variety of humor that they have. Also, it's really cool to see all of the leaves on the ground, which I'm pretty sure are put there. Yeah, fun one. Then next to it, this is the one that originally brought us over this area. Say Scream, Rock and Roll Never Die. They normally have a big display out here, all centralized on their skeletons rock and rolling. Really fun stuff there. And this year, they've got a different take. Demolition construction notice, Paranormal Office of LA. They are condemned. This rock and roll gravesite has been condemned by POLA due to unruly activities, disturbing the peace, unlawful assembly, malicious mischief to cemeteries, satanic panic, disorderly conduct, illegal lodging of demons, theft from a dead body, and public intoxication. Report municipal code violations of paranormal activity at the site to Say Scream on Instagram. So they are changing up themes, it looks like, this year. And this is the step in between. They have demolished the rock and roll vibes. Dearly departed, the DJ of a famous part of this maze. It was always fun seeing him spinning in the backdrop there with the fog machines going off. And he is gone. So who knows what will be here next year. But I love this idea of a transition. It's fun for those that are fans of their little display here to have this sort of transitional year. And now we can all kind of wonder what we'll see when we're back here a year from now. All right, so this is one we have a lot of history with. They're not on the SoCal Haunt list. They've never gotten an official name outside of what we've called them before. We called this the Creeper Watch Party, and I want to say we first came about it in 2020. I feel like it was one of those, and it was just this window mostly with all these creepers watching a movie, and they're holding a movie there again. But over the years, things have expanded. The car has been a really nice touch. These creepers just hanging out in the car. You can see more in the window back there. Up in the window there, a little effect. And this year, I don't recall this before, they've got a little sign out. On October 31st, the monsters escape from this house to terrorize you. 90% are still hiding. You ain't seen nothing yet. So, really, really fun. And despite the big figures and the amazing windows, it's kind of understated. Because like if you're driving down the street, you don't necessarily know that you're going to have all of this going on. You have to kind of stop and really take a look to see what you find. And there are creepers everywhere. But like I said, like this car, there's no way you would notice that from the street as you drive down. I mean, it's a fairly quiet street in general with a little bit of decor here and there. But you get up close and you realize there's some spooky stuff going on here with these characters. I am really curious what they do on Halloween. Creeper Watch Party. And now we've worked our way back to Clybourne, where we have the Thriller House here at the Last Stop Cemetery. A fun take. They've been doing this now for a few years, and they add, change, move things around. Way back in the day, I believe we called this the Spider House. They had lots of spiders. You can still see the spider presence, but Thriller now for several years, and we really love that look. Fun. And all the way back there, you see a big nod to Thriller, both on top of the house and in the doorway there, window. And that is the 2025 Thriller House. Now we move right across the street from the Thriller House to what is normally kind of a quiet cemetery scene, but with a lot of humor to it as well. Here lies Kent. How am I decomposing? Should not have tried that ghost pepper. Some silly kind of tombstones, a few creepy characters in there. The swing's just a really nice touch on its own. I'm sure that's always up, but it just kind of looks a little spooky scary. The trellis as well. Even the fencing, it kind of lends itself to a haunted scene. Always a fun, quiet cemetery here on Clybourne. All right, we remain here on Clybourne for the Nightmare on Clybourne. This is one that really captured our imagination years ago. I think we were just driving the streets, and all of a sudden we see these massive tree and this scene unfolding, and then of course you get out of the car and you see it has so many of the key characters from Nightmare Before Christmas, particularly having Jack and Sally dance at the center of it. It's just really pretty beautiful. Now we see the signage here. It looks like they won most imaginative this year in the Toluca Halloween decorating contest. So congrats to them for that win here. And there's that name, Nightmare on Clybourne. I mean, this is really great. Obviously Oogie up above there, the reindeer, and then you extend to the side here and you've got this wonderful touches here on the entry with the column work there, and then even here got the tree, which then is looking on over to our next stop there, Clybourne Manor. And I believe Clybourne Manor was maybe the first thing to bring us to this area. They've had some really great, again, kind of quiet displays, but really beautiful. So we'll take a look at that now. Love this guy, that kind of caretaker icon of the display, just hanging out, keeping watch, slow movement. Some really great skeleton work here. And I believe when we started covering them years ago, it was more of a pirate display, and the pirate ship would be off to the side here. They still had skeletons as a focal point, but it definitely has gone into more of a haunted cemetery vibe, a little bit of haunted mansion vibes here and there to go with their pirates. Actually, so there we have, here lies the Pirates of Clybourne Manor. So there we go, that was their former display there. So that's a really great tribute to build into the display. Fantastic. Ah, yes, and there we go up above. Looks like the bride peering down, keeping watch on us. It's nice too, because they know, like with their windows, they can use that to help kind of theme it up. So even if they're in there watching TV or whatever, they're using lighting that really works to complement the display versus closing the windows or something like that. It really adds to what they have here at Clybourne. So love it. Clybourne Manor. All right, so we jumped in the car and just down a few blocks, we're over in Navajo, where there's a number of houses. I mean, you've got decor like this, which is fun, But we're here specifically to see Waltwood Manor that does kind of a Tim Burton take. From here you get a good look at the topiary to go with that Edward Scissorhands look. It's also, all the lighting is great. I mean, in addition to like the Tim Burton-ness of it all, just the lighting itself is really fantastic. Off to the side here, you've got a cemetery scene as well as kind of like a fog lake, and then a Jack and Sally, and obviously Lock, Shock, and Barrel to give you some Nightmare Before Christmas love down here. I mean, this is really great. Winner of most masterful execution. Isn't that, what a great lead in. Really, really fantastic and unique in that you kind of have to go across the street to get the full view. I mean, you did a different perspective on it here, of course. I mean, that's really great up there. You take in different things depending where you take it in from, but so many of these haunts are love letters to something, and obviously this one's very clear what it is a love letter to here, the Tim Burton universe of characters. All right, staying here on Navajo for this massive scene. This is one we found years ago, and in place of the thing in the center there was a big jack-o'-lantern. This is great, a little darker tone. You've got the moon out, of course, the bride. Frankenstein, see Wednesday.
With this hand, I will lift your sorrows. Your cup will never empty.
So they actually have a name for it, the Till Death Do We Dance, a production by Bob Wexler. They actually have a website to find more on it.
My dreams were taken from me.
Right over here.
Now I've stolen them from someone else.
TeamWPM.com. So quite a display they have there. And what a backdrop. Look at that massive house. It's a great setting. Love the moon. Really fantastic spot here on Navajo. Just kind of hidden around the corner from Waltwood. So definitely if you're in the area, cruise around. There's also several other houses we can count that are definitely ones we can cover, but we are running low on time, so I'm not sure we'll be able to get to them tonight, but some good stuff. All right, now not too far down off Navajo, we're at Foreman, and this is one they call the Foreman House. On Foreman, as I said, of course. And you can see it's a collection of ghouls, including the windows in the background there. So as we're recording this, we are running low on time. It is getting near 10 o'clock. A lot of the lights go out, and we actually have to go pick up our dog too. So we are kind of rushing, trying to get what we can here. Not even sure how many stops we're at this point. It's just like all a blur at this point, trying to gather video and share things as close as possible to real time on social media, which is beyond chaotic. So there we go, the Foreman House. All right, staying on Foreman. This one is always a fun take on celebrity. Ghost Malone. This is called the Bones Home Yard Display, and you can find them on the SoCal Haunt list. Skeleton John, Here Comes the Pun, Abbey Roadkill, Sonny and Scare, Kiss of Death, Dead Dance, Benson Boone, Chapel Bone, Ozzy Osbourne, Cynthia Erivo, Scary Underwood, Ariana Grande Died, Bat Bunny, and more. All right, so that is a wrap for this home haunt hop. It began on Saturday night. We only did about an hour-ish that night with our Parks and Cons crew. Like I said, we had to cut it because of some health reasons. We bounced back here Tuesday night, and I think it's got to be our biggest runaround of the year so far. I don't think the biggest ever, but we'll see. I gotta count everything up. Right now, really tired. Time to get to editing videos and working on social media and wrapping more stuff up. So we've got a few more days left of this Halloween season. We will continue to be finding all that we can and share it with you as much as possible. So stay tuned. And again, you can find our podcast with all sorts of talk on Halloween and beyond, including we'll have our kind of best of Halloween talk at the end of the season coming up here. So that said, we're wrapping up here in Toluca Lake. Until next time, we'll see you online somewhere.